Welcome to the Startup Grind.
Walk away with a full breadth of learning bursts to, use within your own entrepreneurial endeavors. Okay? So with that said, let's talk about your bio. So Ben has a long entrepreneurial history, but many, of course, know him as the Expo 2020 ambassador. He is of German descent, speaks fluent German, French, English, Spanish, Dutch, speaks everything.
Learning Arabic.
Learning a bit of Arabic as well. He studied at, I believe I'm probably going to butcher this,
Maastricht.
and the Netherlands Art Academy, and earned the highest grade in 2006. And for the next couple of years, he worked with various companies and institutions, including people like Markus Walter, one of the top 3 commercial and publicity motion picture directors in Germany, Fashiontrixx-a, a high-end fashion show, and the German TV Channel Viva MTV. When he moved to the UAE, he founded Beyond Films to spark a movement of organic, creative content in the Middle East. And his video submission for the Expo 2020 bid, for those of you who were here last year, gained the attention of major institutions and individuals in the area. And in November 2012, Ben was chosen to be an ambassador for the Expo 2020 by the ruler of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed. And under the leadership of Ben for Beyond Films, he was essentially bringing a lot of unique portfolio clients, including the Road Transport Authority, Galeries Lafayette, Dubai Multi Commodities Centre, and Sony and Dubai Mall, just to name a few. So very active, and so just thank you and welcome to Startup Grind.
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for having me here.
Yep.
So it's a great opportunity, and I'm glad to be here.
So just first things first, we're going to ask, why Beyond Films? Why did you launch it? And how was that journey in terms of doing it here in Dubai, of all places that you've been watching it?
Okay, that's actually a very good question because, why film production? Because that's my background. I learned film production. I'm a director, and I started up when I was in Europe. Basically guerrilla filmmaking. For anyone that doesn't know what that is, like you do everything. You write the script, you shoot, you edit, you do the grading, animation from start to set. And I did actually short films. I went to the Cannes Film Festival and I did everything. I was even the speaker. Like just a friend of mine was the actor, and then from beginning to end I did everything. And so I just understood a lot about that field, and I felt that this is something that I love to do. And that's also one very important aspect. I think when you start up a business, it needs to be something that's close to you, because a lot of people they see an opportunity and they feel like, oh, I think I can make money in that, so let me start. But you don't really have a passion and you don't really have the knowledge. So how long are you going to be able to stay in there if you're not successful right in the beginning? So I was very sure that I wanted to go in that direction. Now I had for 1 year, I think that was like 2009. A friend of mine introduced me into a job in Germany that's very interesting because I was a flight carrier. And I don't know, many people have never heard of that. I've never heard of it before. But basically, you have a lot of corporations, they need very fast deliveries. And the UPS or anything like the normal, traditional post is very slow. So they need something to be delivered within 24 hours or less. And they pay a lot of money for that. And you have organizations that do that, and they have carriers like me. And I would get a call and say, be at the airport in 2 hours. Someone will give me a package. I always check what's inside, of course. But and then I'd have to fly anywhere in the world. I'll know where it is, and I'll it's very exciting at the same time. You need to be very flexible because they'll call you up, and in 2 hours you have to always have your suitcase packed. And within 1 year, I was everywhere. I was in the States. I was in South America, Africa, Asia. I was everywhere. And the good thing is that for me it was good. For them, it's cheaper if they book a long flight. Let's say if you fly tomorrow and you want to come back the next day, it might cost you $3,000-4,000. But if you stay for a week and you fly back the weekend, you save a lot. So it's cheaper for them to keep me in that city and pay for the hotel and everything, and ask me, is it okay for you if you stay in Miami for a week? And I was like, of course, I get paid more and I'm staying there. And so I had the opportunity. I was in Sri Lanka for 8 days. I was in Mexico, and I was everywhere. And every time I was in a city and I knew I was going to be there for a couple of days, I just went online, LinkedIn, Facebook, try to ask everyone, do you know anyone that's there? Trying to see if there's events and just mingle with the people, because I was like, why am I going to be in a hotel for a week if I'm in a city where I don't know anyone? So maybe people can show me around. And every time I was somewhere, I imagined, because I was still in Germany. I didn't have a job. I was more like a freelance filmmaker. And I was always thinking to myself, okay, you know, like there's not a lot of opportunity in Germany. The market is very saturated, and you know, I tried to, you know, start my own production company over there, but it was not very easy. So every time I was somewhere, I tried to see, okay, can I do something?
But why is that? Because when you think of a place like Germany, it's in Europe. You know, you think that's where all the accelerators are, that's where the major investors are. You know, Dubai is still an up-and-coming market. You know, so why do you think that happens?
The thing is that in Germany, first of all, the mentality is very, very different.
Okay.
You know, German people, they are very secure. They like to think about everything 110 times and turn it around again before they make a decision. I feel that here in Dubai, first of all, there's a lot more investment opportunities. There is a lot more, there's a market that's not very saturated. There's still a lot of room for in a lot of different fields. You have a lot of people that come in here and they're moving because they're entrepreneurs. So if you have a lot of companies that come in here and want to represent themselves, especially in my field, film production, they need to present themselves. Now in Germany, you also have a lot of, let's say in the US, it's the same thing. You have a lot of people, they need jobs. You know, they're students of film, of art, graphic designers in Berlin. You have hundreds of them. And so people, they don't really know, they're breaking the market basically. So they come in and they say, oh, I can do a video for you for 500. I can do this, I can do that, because they just want to get in. You don't really have that here. And people know the value of fast professional work. And I feel like in Germany, that was not the case. And when I talk to a lot of freelancers that are in Europe or in the US, a lot of them are very talented, but it's just very hard for them to break in. And then you have the other problem that's like, let's say big corporations, it's very hard to get in. Here in Dubai, it's a lot about networking. I can know you have a friend, and he's going to the gym with the CEO of Sony, you know? And so two connections, I can get to know him, I can, you know, like convince him that my work is good, and boom, I have a project with that. In the US or in Germany, it's very hard to get into this big corporation. So you have the companies that have that kind of a monopoly, and it's very hard to compete with them. And I feel that in Dubai, you have a fairer chance to introduce and get introduced to people because it's small, because it's new. I met, for example, the CEO of Ubisoft, and you know, he came here and he doesn't know anyone. You know, he's new. He has to start up a team. No, he's actually the general manager, and so he was in Abu Dhabi. And he's just, you know, walking around, and he's bored, he doesn't know anyone, and he starts to talk to you, and boom, you know, you get in a conversation with him, and he's like, oh yeah, yeah. And then he speaks French, so I had that connection with him. So it's that's what I realized, that a lot of doors open up very easily because the people that come here are not at home. They don't have friends. They need to go out, they need to mingle, network, and when you do that, you have the opportunity to, you know, cross the paths. So I went to all these different countries, and every time I was somewhere, I thought about, would it be possible, you know, to be successful here? Would I come here? Would I move here? And I also came to Dubai. And when I was here, within 1 week, it's crazy. I was here one time, and actually a friend of mine is a violinist. He needed to, he had a concert here and asked me if I can film. So I just came with him, and I said I'm going to stay for a week. And I met the chairman actually of Mercedes-Benz UK, and they were here for a week doing an event. I was also doing the Formula One. And I shot a video for them just randomly, you know, and then he said, oh, we have tickets for the Paddock Club in Formula One, why don't you come with us? I went with them, I met some people there, and within 1 week, I had so many contacts that I just delayed my flight. I stayed another week, I stayed another week, and I ended up staying a month, and I realized, okay, you know what, this is a place I gotta give it a shot. I didn't know it's gonna work, I didn't know, but I just had a feeling, a gut feeling that this is just different than any other place that I've been in. In 1 year, I really saw a lot of places. So, yeah.
And let's go back to that, because for many of our, you know, CEOs and entrepreneurs that we interviewed, a lot of people say Dubai is a great place to start a company. Yeah. And you have access to all these individuals, but yet, what do you say? I mean, how do you sum it up? Because people are still trying to compete and trying to get through private CEOs do, the CEO of Interselect, you know, to get those partnerships. So right there while you're in the room, what do you say to them to catch their attention if they're so close to proximity?
I mean, I think that this depends on your personality. That's like, it's like when you're talking sales now. And I read a lot, and you know, I studied a lot about sales, because I think as an entrepreneur you have to be good in areas that you're not very strong at. And I felt that I know everything about filmmaking, and that's why most of the people that are in that field, they are just creatives. They don't become business people because they don't want to have to do with finances, with sales, with this. Nah. I know how to do this, and I'm good at that, and I don't want to do this. But if you don't get good at that, you will never, you know, be anything else but an asset to someone that has a plan in a company, and you work for that. So I read a lot, and I try to study a lot, and I saw that, you know, you have different approaches. And I felt that the style that goes more for me, especially that work in these situations, is to be the opposite of the annoying salesman that everyone knows, you know, because no one wants to really be like this kind of person that's, you know, very pushy and tries to, you know, talks a lot, because you can get the same approach from the other side. What I try to do, what my approach is, I mean, I try to be as casual as possible. I don't try to be pushy, I'm just casual. You know, I'm not trying to sell you anything, because that's also the thing. When you're trying to convince someone, you're putting on too much energy and too much focus on yourself. You gotta, you know, put the focus on the other person. And what I think that when you are in how can I say that? When you, basically I'm selling a service. So what I'm trying to do is bring value, and I think that any kind of business needs to bring value and help other people, otherwise you cannot be successful. So what I think is, my job is to try to help them. First of all, if I want to help someone, I got to find out if they have a problem. What are they doing? So I would just, you know, enter a casual conversation. I will not even sometimes talk about, you know, like what I can offer. I'm just going to have a casual conversation, introduce myself, and, you know, talk about what I'm doing. It's just like approach someone and just start a conversation. You can't talk about anything and then try to see if you have things in common. It's not like a game plan, you know. I'm like, okay, let me just try and find out. I'm going to learn golf because I know that he likes golf, and when we, you know, that's like, it doesn't work like that. You have to be yourself. You have to just go somewhere and just talk. And I think the more you expose yourself to, you know, like your network and try to find out, and also what a very important thing is, you have to say what you offer, and you have to say what you're looking for, because a lot of people, they don't dare to say that. You might know a lot of people that could help you, but because you don't verbalize what you really want, and a lot of people, you think if you tell them, oh, I'm in the film production, and, you know, like I shoot corporate films for Sony and this and that, they will hear that, but they won't really understand how to translate that into, do I have someone on my network that works in marketing and might, you know, introduce him to their business? Because, you know, so you have to really explain that. And sometimes it's like by indirect suggestion. I will say, you know, I have a friend, and, you know, he helped me out because he knows a girl that's in marketing, this and that. And, yo, man, I thank him like forever because of that. And he's like, I also know someone, you know, I want you to like me too. I'm not like that, but, you know, it's more like you suggested by saying someone else did something you could do for me. And you're showing them the direction, and they might, you know, open up and say, you know what, actually, I know someone. And the other thing is just be genuine. Just help them out. For example, what helped me one time is when I was, the competition started. I was, because I became an Expo ambassador, so I got, you know, introduced to a lot of people that, you know, like had high positions in different companies here in Dubai. And we were invited once, and I'm not going to say where it is because I'm going to say something very mean. Not mean, but I saw flaws because we were invited and we were giving a whole tour. And they had their own internal, because a lot of companies, they have their own internal media. You know, they have their graphic design and whatever. So they did a video, and then like a couple of weeks later, I saw that video. And I said, nah, it's not possible that a company that big has such a low, you know, like quality. But it's not their business. That's not what they do. You know, like they're in something completely different. Someone hired this guy and said, oh, we need someone. Bam, bam, CV is good, and they pay him whatever, 20,000 a month. And they don't even know what he's doing until someone comes up and tells them, this is not how it's done. So I saw a chance, an opportunity, you know, and because I met that person before, we talked, had nothing to do with business, but I still had the contact, so I just called them up. And I said, listen, I need to talk to you about that video that you produced, and I hope that you don't, you know, like produce all your videos like that. I hope that was, and he said, no, we have this our team, and they always do that. And I said, you know, I think that you should change something because you have a team, you're investing money, and this is just a few things that if you know them, you know, you can switch it up and make it much better. And he said, okay, tell me more, you know. And this is someone that he could have said, what are you talking about? You're criticizing me, whatever. But a lot of people that are in a high position, they respect that, because a lot of people, they're just like, oh, you know, let me not say anything to, you know. Exactly. You just gotta tell them straight up. And he said, okay, I like that. He invited me over, set me down with the marketing director, PR, this and that. It's okay, listen to them, tell them, you know, tell him what you're doing, and, you know, if you have any suggestions, let them know. And then that's how I got into business with them. So this is one example. It doesn't always work like that, but you have to freestyle a little bit with these things.
I get you. And just before we continue, just to take a poll of where everyone's at, how many people already have a company? Already have a company. And how many, I'm guessing the rest of the room, you have your idea, you're trying to figure it out, just go navigating the landscape. So really quickly, for those who already have a company, what has been your biggest challenge thus far that you would like to point out?
Someone who started a small startup here, the biggest challenge has been that a lot of the service providers in the area are not startup friendly, so they don't offer startup friendly like prices or packages or anything. You speak to them and you tell them, look, I'm a startup, I have a small budget, I need your help with X, Y, Z, and let's exchange favors. Maybe we can support the community together or do something, you know, whatever. And nobody cares about that. They all just want the short-term income, and that's it. So that's one of the biggest challenges I faced.
You're talking about now licensing and stuff like that.
No, services. Like, let's say if you want
Like telecommunications or office space.
Marketing
like
campaign.
marketing, legal,
Yeah.
IT, like services, you know, things like that. And they tell you at first that we are startup friendly. Well, yeah, we're looking to support the community and all that. But when you actually start dealing with them, it's not like that at all. It's all about the short term, and it's all about like, you know, I just want my money now, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that's
How
what
did you do that? Like, how did you get started on a budget, basically?
Yeah, basically, in my case, I didn't expect anything. I just like went out there and said, okay, I'm on my own, and I got to do it on my own because it's not, I think, the most conventional way, the way I did it, because I literally started with nothing. Because I came here and I was working on a project before I started up my own company, and I made a few mistakes. Not mistakes, yeah, but you know, like a couple of things happened that weren't, you know, the way I expected, and I had to pull back from that. But I invested a lot of time and a lot of money, and I came out with nothing. And I was basically thinking, okay, what am I going to do now? Go back to Germany or still try to push it? And I decided, you know, I'm going to go for it. And I started literally with, I had 5,000 dirhams. I didn't have a
So
place.
how did you like get branding and marketing and legal? Did you just do it when you had like opportunity? Like for example, if you had a gig next week and you know it was like about 1,000 dirhams, so that's when you say, okay, maybe I do need a brand and logo for this.
Yeah, you grow with it. You grow with it. That's why I started with nothing. In the beginning, I even exchanged, like, just to tell you from how low I started, I had, you know, like a friend of mine that owns a restaurant, and I said, because I need to save up as much money as possible, I help them on their branding for their website, and I take pictures and this and that, and I can eat for free, you know, and that's how I was like, okay, you know, some money that I can do, I can put on the side, and I would have some bargain deals. I have some, for example, a company that does a website, and I tell them, okay, what's the value you need? You need a video, so, you know, like, I can shoot a video for you, and you do my website. And, you know, like, these are the exchanges when you don't really have the money to be able to, you know, to invest that. But that doesn't always work. You know, sometimes you're like, okay, I was running around because I wanted a very specific business card. And, you know, I said, you know, I walked around, you know, for the first 3 months, I didn't have a business card. I didn't have my website. I didn't have a lot of things that you need. I didn't, you know, like, even... That's very funny because I had my business license the day I had my first big project, you know, because I already went there, I talked to them, I gave them, you know, like all my documents and everything, but I didn't have the money to get the license yet. I said, okay, as soon as you give us the money, we know we go on with it, and it's going to take like 10 days, this and that. I said, okay, you have all the documents, as soon as I have it, I come. You know, and then I had, because in film production, like my terms are, you know, when I shoot something, because I have to invest, I have to get a team, put everything together, they pay 50% up front.
Yeah.
And when I deliver the project, I get the other 50%. I got paid the first 50%. I went there, I got my license, and while I was basically writing the script and doing it, I got my license and I sent them, you know, the copy. And that's the way I had to do it because, you know, I didn't have anyone to sponsor or invest in, you know, so I could start smoothly. And also, coming to this investment thing, I don't know, because it's...
Yeah, it's coming up.
Okay, good, let's not talk about it.
No, go ahead. I mean, just in terms of the investment community here, a lot of people know about Eureka. That's one way they turn to accelerators like IP60 or, you know, Turn 8. You know, you have places like Impact Hub, N5. We have a list of ecosystems for investment channels, but for some reason, the money is still not funding through to a lot of startups that need it most. And so just a word or two on that. What do you think?
I mean, honestly, I just, I didn't know, you know, at that time, I didn't know about all these systems.
Okay.
And I just got approached by people that I knew and, you know, people that were hearing about what I'm doing. And I just had like a couple of people that wanted to invest, but they saw an opportunity, you know, when you're at the very start and you didn't really achieve anything. Because if now I have a production company, I already have a list of clients, I already proved that it works. Now someone that's funding, they already know what they're investing in. Now when it's really at the start, they feel like they can ask for anything. okay, you need it, you don't have anything, we're starting up, give me 50% of your company for like, you know, like, and you'll be giving up shares of your company that it's not going to be your own anymore, you know? You're not going to be able to take decisions you want to take. You're going to be stuck in something and then end up paying off someone else for something, you know, so small that they invested in. And I felt like I don't want to take that risk. And everyone is greedy. Like the people that I met, they were all greedy. They were like trying to put in as less as possible, make you work and, you know, get the biggest return. And I felt like, why? And that's why I went from, you know,
so you bootstrapped the whole way.
Yeah, the whole way. The whole way.
Looking back on it, would you have done it the same way?
Yeah.
Yeah. And just in terms of like, for a lot of tech startups, they need liquid capital, like large amounts. So what is your thought process about, is that possible here in Dubai? Because currently the success stories that we have is like we said before, you have Navesh, you have Divizzle, you know, a lot of them got liquid capital to get off the ground and running. And so what is your thoughts as to, we have SMEs in here, we have startups in here, we have ideas that are flowing in this room. How would they get to that point where they get the capital to really launch off if they can't bootstrap it?
I think that I think here it's very possible here because you have a lot of, you know, people, even private investors, you know, that because most of the people that I was talking to were private investors, and if you get to the right people, you have a strong enough idea and you know how to pitch it and to convince them, you can get money, a lot of money even.
So how do you do that pitch though? What is like, how do you art? Because in the States, we pretty much, you know, you have like, you know, these like competitions, we can pitch on stage in 3 minutes, you have the decks, you know, it has a certain structure. Does that work here in Dubai? I mean, people really want to have formal relations where they know your background, who you are. Like, how do we get that conversation started with people who have the capital to be angel investors in this area? I guess.
Yeah, I don't know 100% because I didn't do it.
Yep.
But just like from my experience and what I heard, you know, because I know a couple of people that did that. I think first of all, the relationship is the most important thing because Dubai is a place where a lot of people come in and out and they use it as a transit. And you have a lot of people that also try to take advantage of that, you know. So many people have been burned. You know, people come out very sincere. You don't know what they did, you know, 1 year ago, where they come in, they can disappear like this with your money. So, you know, a lot of people, they're very, you know, careful who they trust, who they do business with. Now, if you get introduced by a friend, if you know someone for a longer period of time, if they trust you and they feel like, okay, you're sincere, and as well, if you're proven that you're willing to do it on your own. Because that's also a thing that I felt like, you know, you have a lot of people, they come in here and they feel like, okay, I want to start up this idea. I'm not sure if it's going to work, you know, and they're not willing to, for example, invest a whole year, their whole salary, put their credit card on debt, just, you know, to prove that they're willing to go 100%, and then they can't go no more. But, you know, like the investor is going to feel like, okay, you know what? Even if I invest now, that person is going to give 100% because they already gave 200%. But someone that's like, and I know I have a friend of mine that was like, you know, trying to start up a new, you know, like concept, and had someone that was an angel investor, and then, you know, all of a sudden became like, okay, I need to do branding, and, you know, contacted that company that does like branding for these huge companies, and they take like to do the logo, corporate identity, 400,000 dirham. They're like, what? You can't get a couple of freelancers left and right, and you can get the same thing done for, you know, like a tenth of it. But because all of a sudden you have like, yeah, I'm going to pay myself 35,000, and I'm going to get an apartment and this and that. Now it becomes like it's comfortable for you because you have an investor, and it's not like not every idea can become a success. And are you willing to believe in your idea yourself so far that you're going to, you know, try it on your own and then get another investor? That's why I feel like you can convince them easier when you prove in yourself and if they know you and trust you. So there's like a
good point.
And have a strong idea, of course.
Good point. And I guess another question I would like to ask, like, what resources and connections did you leverage? I mean, obviously you had a lot with the Expo network. And you said that when you got here, you know, you did a lot of bartering to get, you know, your connections. But what else did you do that's uniquely different that you feel like people could try to do that they haven't thought of? Putting you on the spot here, but I know you navigated a lot of different
Now you want to hear my secrets.
No, we need some ideas.
No, I mean, I think that a lot of people have much more resources than they think they have, you know, because that's one thing where I always think like, when I tell certain people, you know, like, think about a person that could help you, that could, you know, bring you forward in your network. They automatically think, who's in a high position that could maybe, and that's the thing. I'm like, the first thing you got to do, go through your phone, because maybe, you know, like you have like 100 contacts that could help you, but you're not aware of it, you know, or you didn't think of that person because you didn't talk to them in a year or whatever. Go through your phone first of all. That's the first thing you'll do, and try to reconnect with everyone. That's what I did. I just went there and met, because they said there's this theory that you're connected to anyone in the world through 5 connections.
Yeah.
So through 5 connections, you're connected to Obama, I'm connected to Madonna, whatever, you know? And it's like you just never know.
6 degrees.
6 or 5. There's like
6 degrees, probably 2 degrees.
Because I built that whole theory.
Oh yeah? Okay. Cool. So 6. One more person to call. But you know, that's why you never know who. You're gonna talk to one person, their sister knows someone and this and that, and unless you, that's why I said you gotta communicate what you're looking for to your network. Anyone in your network. I think this word of mouth is still until now the strongest, you know, like factor. You can have social media, you can have events, you can put billboards out, because people trust people they know. If something is on Facebook, if something is still, you know, someone is advertising it, someone is like, I gotta be careful. Even if people call me, you know, the telesales, and they really have a nice product, just because I'm conditioned to not let anyone sell me something, whatever they say, no, I'm not interested. I hang up. I don't even know what they want to talk about, because it's, I don't know this person, they just call me up. So I feel that this is, to me, the strongest, you know, the simplest is sometimes the strongest.
And I guess in just knowing that you had, you know, your highs and lows in building Beyond Films, what was a moment that you could describe that was the hardest point for you, and what did you do to get past that? And be truthful, like give us like the worst, the lowest of the lowest point.
The lowest of the lowest point was when you gotta have a long breath. You know, when you start up a company, especially in my case, where you don't have, you know, no money, you have no car, you have nothing, and you know, you're just trying to, you know that it could be easier if you, for example, take on a job, because I had a lot of job offers. You know, I went from left to right, and then people come up and they say, oh, you know, we have this internal team, and you know, I show them how, you know, whack they are, and they're like, why don't you take his job? You know, he's making 25,000 this and that a month. We can pay you that, and it's like. You think for a second, because then you're like, you can't get weak. You feel like, okay, I just take that on for a year, and then I can, you know, save up this money, and on the side I'm going to do that. But I know that once you get in this system, it's hard to get out, because you get comfortable, you get this, you get that, and you know, then you're like, oh, I got to keep that standard, and it's like, let me just go another 6 months and this and that, and I feel also you got to be focused 100% on what you're doing. A lot of people, they feel like I'm going to start up a business on the side and I'm still going to work, but I feel that in my case, I was like. Maybe for certain businesses that work, but for me it will not work, because even when I, you know, give 24 hours a day, sometimes I didn't sleep, whatever, it was still not enough. And so when you get to this point where you tell yourself, okay, it's been 4 months, it's been 5 months, and I've been going out there, and everything I know that works, and I'm sure that's going to work. It's like there's like a very interesting cartoon. I know you have someone he's digging. In the sand, and then you have diamonds, and basically there's that thin from getting to the diamonds, but he's giving up and, you know, walking back.
3 feet from gold. 3 feet from gold.
3 feet from gold. He knows, this guy knows everything. But that's basically how I felt. I felt like all the time, it's like, if you're focused on your end goal and you really know what you want to do and you really believe in yourself, because a lot of people are going to come and try to talk into you and tell you, you know what, it's not the right time, there's not, even people in the industry, they're like, yes, you know, 5 years ago it was better, but no. And then, you know, they're trying to brainwash you, and you feel like, you know, like, believe in yourself and keep going. And I felt like, this is the test, actually. It's a test. Do you really believe in that strong enough to, you know, be able to delay any, you know, like, short-term gratifications and feel like, okay, you know what, I'm going to go the easy way, I'm going to go that way. And also, I had, after a long time, one very big project that came up. And then basically, they were like semi-governmental. And you know, sometimes some governments, they work very differently. There was in Sharjah. And then they had like a contract that was so ridiculous that I said, I can't accept that, you know. Basically, they're telling me that I have to give them a check with 10% of the amount of the budget as a security, okay, for the pitch. Then, once I start the project, when I finally deliver it, 3 months after that, I'll get paid 50% And 6 months later, the other 50%. I said, what is this? I have to give you a check to do a project for you, you know? And I said, this is the way. But don't worry, it never happens. We never cash in the check. It's just a security. It's just a measure that we have like this. So, you know, in all the years, it never really happened. So don't worry, you can sign it. I'm not signing anything, you know? And I spent a lot of time on this project to pitch it, to give them the concept, and they loved it and everything. And then this was the only thing where I was like, am I willing to take this risk or not? And if I don't take the risk, when is the next project going to be, you know? But I can also lose a lot if I do it, and, you know, I give them all the power in them, you know? And I felt like that was a point where I was almost going to be like, you know what, you know, this is not going to work, this and that, and I denied it. I didn't do the project, and I just kept on going the way I felt, you know, I need to do it. And sure enough, 2 months later, I had a project with Dubai Mall and Emad, and, you know,
And it's worked out anyway.
yeah. So,
And I guess in your opinion, why do you think companies, I mean, the success rates for startups and SME companies are very low? Globally, we know this, but within Dubai specifically, why do you think a lot of them will fail?
from my own experience, because I get a lot of people that need video productions for startups, for, you know, companies, and they have a vision. And my job is to try to understand as much as possible about the company so that I can do a video, you know, and I try to look at it from a neutral perspective. Because some people, they're so digged into their own thoughts and their own idea that they neglect so many elements, and they feel like everyone should understand that, you know. So I try to break it down, explain to me from Adam and Eve how it got to here. And I realize that a lot of people don't really know what they're doing. A lot of people have an idea, and they feel like, okay, because my 3 friends said, yo, if that was there, I would buy it. Or that's a great idea, I should start a company. And they don't really go to the end of the thoughts. Like in many cases that I saw, that was the reason why. And they felt like, oh, they have unrealistic expectations. They think, oh, if I do that, you know, let's say I can be a millionaire in 6 months. You know, a lot of people, they say, I'm going to develop this application. It's going to be downloaded this month because that app that's similar is going to, and that's also a thing. People, sometimes they try to copy something, or they're trying to do something that's not really them, you know, because they feel like, you have to really understand. I feel like when I was talking to certain people, I felt like there were 3 questions I would ask them. And I was asking myself as well, because sometimes I see an idea and I'm like, you know, why not? Maybe I can do that on the side and become a billionaire and then still make films. But I was like, are you the right person to do that? Because there could be an idea, it's a great idea for you. If you try it, it won't work. If you try it, it won't work, you know? But for him, because of the way he is and his passion, it's going to keep him going even in the moments where it's not working. Then is it the right place to do that? Certain things, they work in the States, they work in Europe, they don't work here. Or they work here, they don't work in Germany, for example. And then is it the right time? Just because something worked 2 years ago, it's not going to work now. And just because something didn't work last year doesn't mean it's not going to work now. So these are the things that you need to evaluate before you really go into business. And a lot of people, I feel like they think, I have a great idea, and, you know, so it's going to work. Okay, but, you know, like, you are maybe not the right person, or you know, and that's also something that you're not stuck on who you are. I mean, either you can develop skills, or you can partner up with someone that, you know, has that, for example, network or whatever. Because I know people, they partner up with someone that has a very strong network. Okay. You know, and for example, you have companies here, they have investors that, you know, like, where it makes a lot of sense, you know, because you have some, they have like, okay, a local partner, and he owns 51% of the company because of his name. But then you have other ones, they have like, this guy has a huge network, and he will introduce you to 90% of your business. So he has a justification in that case to be that. Right. So that's also the thing. Who you're partnering up with, why? Is that the smart thing, or is that just the first person? Is it like you had the idea while your friend was there, let's do it together, okay, let's do it, but it's not the right person to do it with, because you just, and I feel a lot of people, they're not very mature, and you know, they do, and then they have this idea, and then they abandon fast, and then they start something else. So that's also, you know, reason why, yeah, see which one sticks. Or they give up too early. Yeah. That's also maybe a reason why, you know, that they don't succeed, because that idea was good, you know, but maybe you should have met maybe 50 other people, or, you know, waited 2-3 other months and tried this and tried that. So if I had evaluated my business after 6 months, it would have been a failure. Okay.
And just going to that point, like, a lot of individuals, you know, they have their strategy with launching a company and developing the company. When do you kind of know, and this is probably a hard question for most, but when do you know when there's a point to pivot your strategy because something's not working, or to continue down the path and just know that, okay, this is the course of the strategy that will get to the home run and really knock it out of the park? How do you feel you can navigate? And that's something that anyone can really answer, really.
Yeah, I think that in my case, I'm very stubborn. So, and I think sometimes it's a good thing because I feel that you have to trust your gut instinct.
Okay.
Because sometimes, how can I say that? You don't see the results immediately. And it's like you have sometimes a point where it pivots, and you got to be able to realize when you're abandoning something because you're just, too lazy, or you're just, tired of doing it, or when you give up something because you feel like, okay, that's not working, we have to try something else. That's something that has to do with intuition. You have to get a feeling for that. I feel that there is no rule where you can say, because certain people, you can set, for example, a limit for yourself. You can say, okay, you know what, I give myself 6 months and that amount of budget. And I'm going to try this, and if it doesn't work, I have to reevaluate it. Because certain people, they're so passionate that sometimes they hook and they clinch on something that's not working. That's my baby, I got to, they keep, putting their time and everything in it, even though because they're blind, they're so in love with it, they don't see that baby's ugly. So weird metaphor.
But on that note, just open it up to the audience a little bit. Any questions or insights or comments that anyone has? Just speak really loud so everyone can hear the question.
What do you look for when you're building your team? Like what qualities in people do you look for?
Yeah.
What things do you watch out for?
Very interesting question and a very important question, I feel, because I realized that, especially going into other different companies, I always look at the mistakes first, and then I go to, what not to do and then what to do. So a lot of people don't have enough expertise in their own field, and they think that like this company that was hiring this filmmakers and they don't know nothing about it, they'll hire the wrong people. That's the reason why I felt like the more I understand about my field, the better it is for me, or the safer I am, because I know everything about film production. I know how to write, how to edit, how to shoot, how to this, how to that, and I know how to sell. That's also something that I wanted to, how can I say that, perfect, because who can represent my company better than myself, and my product better than myself? But at a certain point, I will need someone to go out there and sell it for me, because I won't have the time to do it myself, for example. So I need to be able to coach that person. I need to be able to train that person and not rely on, okay, this guy, he's a salesman, he told me he used to work for Microsoft and he did sales, whatever, that's his sport, and he goes out there. Maybe the way he used to do it in his company is too aggressive. Maybe it's like not the way I want because he's representing my company. So first of all, and I can evaluate him. So if I'm in a situation with him and I'm meeting with you and I say, okay, sell something to me, or show me how to edit this, or show me how to film this. I look at you because I know how to do it. I know, okay, this guy's good. This guy never held a camera in his hand, he just needs money and told me, I'm a cameraman. And then the next point is, you can't bullshit me, because if I tell you, okay, I need this edited, I know it needs 3 days. If you tell me I need a week, because you want to charge me more, I know that you can't do that, or you're just very slow, so then I can't. So that's the competence on one side. The second thing is your energy and, how, just the way, the synergy that we have, When I come with you, I like to work with people that I like, and that like me, that I respect, that respect me. If you have someone that has an ego and he thinks like, who he thinks he is, I'm better than him, I can make much better videos. One day I will take over this company. I don't need that person in my company, And as soon as he makes enough money, I'll put my feet up, because and you have people like that in companies sometimes, He doesn't work at all, he makes all the money. So this is something that the character of a person that you will see, are they genuine, are they able to learn as well? Sometimes I can, work with someone that's not the best. Someone else is much better, but he has attitude, or he thinks he's all that. This guy is new, genuine, he wants to learn. He said, I'm not the best, but I'm going to put in all my effort, So I think that this person is more valuable than someone else that's not willing to work. And then there is one point I wanted to talk about, and I forgot, about in terms of teams.
What are the red flags, I think he asked?
The what?
The red flags.
Come back to that. Basically when someone is not competent, then, I just have to, to have the ability to see that and to judge that. I think that, a very good point, my God.
We'll get back to it. Any other questions from the audience? Yes.
First of all, thank you.
Speak
Okay.
loud.
You seem like someone who is like had the learning curve of the entrepreneurship. You really have a real sense of wisdom regarding what you're doing, especially in the business side. And mostly you answered most of the questions in my mind. However, I want you to emphasize more on, when someone is creative regarding like programmer or something, but it's not about that. In the end of the day, it's about sale.
Yeah.
Okay? Because this is what I think. I think selling is more important sometimes. Okay? When you have a great product but nobody know about it or nobody uses it. It's like, how can we here? I'm talking about Dubai, because this is how we want to move them to think as a sell people, though everyone hates sales.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your advice regarding that?
How can you do it best in Dubai?
How can you do it best in Dubai? I think that, first of all, like I said, the way people network here in Dubai brings more opportunities. That's why I think the way you would approach it, the way I would approach it in any other country would be almost similar, because you need to expose yourself. You represent at the end of the day your business, your qualities, and everything you do. But you have much more opportunities to do it here in Dubai, because I always said, Dubai is like LinkedIn, the rest of the world is like Facebook. Because almost every person you see is in business and is trying to network and is doing some kind of business. And in Europe, you might meet maybe 20 people, only one person you can talk business. The rest is, my children go to school here. But it's like, here, everyone is connected somehow and has their own network. So you can help other people and other people can help you. And that's also something that I felt, first of all, you need contact with the end customer. That's, the person that you want to get in touch with. But there are indirect ways to this person. Because, for example, you have a target audience. Let's say me, I'm trying to, go for people that need videos. So they're trying to market themselves. What do these people need as well? A lot of people, they need a video, but what do they want to do with that? They want to put it on TV or they want to put it on a website. They need a website. They need a, branding and marketing agency. So if I talk to someone that is doing web development, I tell them, listen, I have a lot of people that want videos and ask me, do you do websites? I say, I don't do websites. I love the way you do websites. So let's work together. Anyone that comes to you that needs a video, we talk together, maybe, you sell my video or, you refer them to me and I give you a percentage. Same way goes when someone wants a website. I go to photographers. They go to different events. They need to take pictures. Sometimes they will ask you, do you also do video? I just do photography. Good. My events, I get photography. So you use their network and you use their niche to extend yourself. And it's better for them because they can offer more. No, we don't just offer this and look for someone else to do a video. No. We can do that and we have a partner that can also offer that. Now you solve more of their problems. And that's basically what you want to do. You want to solve the problems of your clients and your customers. So I feel that, and when you're open like that, what I feel sometimes, I do a lot of this indirect suggestion. When I'm with some people, I say, it works because it works better than trying to sell them something. Sometimes I will open their idea to something. So I meet someone, and I talk to them, this and that, what do you do? Yeah, we do video production, this and that and that. For example, last week I did a video I said, for example, my specialty is to deliver very fast. Because in this country, that opened up a lot of opportunities for me. Unfortunately, you have a lot of organizations that are very new or, where you probably know someone that changed jobs 5 times last year. And a lot of corporations, when you work with a marketing director, you come in next year and they have a new marketing director. People change and switch jobs very fast. So it takes sometimes adaptation time. Because of that, you have problems inside of companies. So they will have requests where they know there is an event. They know it because it's every year at the same day. GITEX, for example, or other big conventions. And they will call you a week before. We need a video. We need this. We need that. Within 1 week. And it's like, come on, man. It takes 3 weeks to do it. We need approvals. We need a script. We need this. We need that. But if you can't deliver, then all of a sudden, they feel like, wow. So I take this, for example, and I bring it up as an example. I say, sometimes, because they will ask you a question, how do you like your job? Because I say film production. They say, that must be nice, with models, this and that. And you're like, it's not always like this. Sometimes it's very stressful. For example, last week, I had this project I needed to shoot. The project that actually takes 2 weeks in 4 days. How is that possible? Boom, I just dropped the punchline, and they're like, what, how? And then I explain to them. They're like, wow, so that's not usual. They want to compete now. It's not usual, but that happens. And while I do that, I'm actually selling But I'm not selling in a way where I'm like, yes, you know, you should get a video from us, because that's no one likes to be that person. You know, you're just casually explaining to them how your job is, this and that, and you're throwing in your competence. And at the same time, you know, like if they tell you something, you can offer them solutions by explaining how you solve the problems of someone else where you feel they're similar to. You know, so if it's Mercedes-Benz, you say, yeah, BMW, they asked me, you know, get the message. So something similar. I feel that this is the way that you get in, and the bigger your network gets, and the more, and also that's something that I realized, never be too shy to ask people for help. That's also something. A lot of people are like, yeah, I'm going to look like I'm not successful. No, everyone needs help, you know? So ask people for help, and don't be too shy to remind them, because everyone is busy. A lot of people, you feel like, ask them, he said he's going to introduce me to someone, he didn't call me back in a week, you know, he's not that good of a friend. No, he's so busy, he forgot it, you know. And maybe he's an asshole, and if you ask him 3 times, he's not going to get it, then you know. But the first time, you know, you just remind that person again, and get on people's nerves. I was calling people all the time. They even see my name, they're like, oh no, I totally forgot, and they send me a message. Yeah, I was just about to message you, here's the number, you know. But you gotta, sometimes, you know, like, yeah, I feel that, you know, you have different speeds that you gotta go sometimes. In the beginning, you gotta be very aggressive. And then sometimes you gotta know how to pull back. And you also have to, it's a give and take, you know. So you gotta be able to be open and help other people, because if you help someone that you don't need to help because you don't even know what, you know, they just come up, and people ask me sometimes, you know, because I meet a lot of people in marketing. And I just, like, 2 days ago, you know, someone messaged me on LinkedIn, yeah, do you have a job? And I'm a marketing expert, this and that. And I said, you know, call me up. I don't have an opportunity right now for someone in marketing, but I know a lot of companies, because I was like with very big companies, you know, like Dubai Airport, DMCC, and they told me, I was sitting down with the, you know, the marketing director, and she said, like, we're looking for people in marketing. Do you know someone? So I'm like, it's a win-win. They're looking for someone, she's looking for something, I put them together, you know, and you never know what's going to happen in the future, but it's good because I solved their problem. And it's good you have people like that, because you will be in a position where you need that, and I was in a position where I needed that as well. And I feel like this dynamic is something like a circle that, you know, like it will just grow, and the bigger your network is, the easier it's going to be to, yeah, tap into it.
Yes. My name is Maren.
German.
I find myself in a lot of things you said now. I'm a project manager, so I do project work as well. I do exhibitions and
We need to talk.
retail fit out and these stuff. So I was just wondering when you said like, I know that thing with Sharjah and you give a security check and all of these things, the same in a governmental company. So I'm in Dubai since a while now.
Yeah.
And so how do you deal with like scope creep? You said like they come and want more and more and more from you. So especially if you have like, I was lucky the last 2 years, I was usually recommended.
Yeah.
So I find it personally, from my personality type, I find it very difficult to say no. So especially if someone recommends you and then they want you to start on a project potentially in 2 months, but they said, oh, can you do this already, or can you do that already? And we are employing somebody new, I know you have experience, can you manage them already? So I find it sometimes quite difficult to keep a project within borders, and if somebody comes out, can you do this and that? I naturally say, yeah, sure, it's no problem, it just takes me 1 day and suddenly it ends up like in much more than that. How you do deal? Do you have a tip or an advice to deal with scope creep, basically, that comes out of?
Yeah, I think that this is something that you have to define for yourself and be like very strict, you know, because you have different phases in your life. For example, me in the beginning, I would do a lot more, go the extra mile, or even try to prove certain things, or even do things for free, because I knew, okay, that could open up the door and like get me in a certain position. The thing is that you need to make people understand that it's an exception, you know, and that your time is money. Because I realized that, you know, because I know, or I'm just very open about a lot of subjects, I can give you an advice that has nothing to do with film production. You know, I mean, you know, having a meeting and I tell them certain things, they're like, oh yeah, can you come in and can you advise us on this? Can you advise us on that? I might do it one time, but I'm like, listen, I have, you know, like, I don't have time for this because, you know, I'm busy with my projects. I'm also a consultant on the side, so if you want, you can book me. These are my rates. For example, that's a way to sometimes make people respect your time and feel like, okay, she's a professional. That's the product, that's a project, that's within the boundaries of this project. And that's how, you know, like, you have to sometimes overcome your own, how can I say that, shyness or personality, because like I'm not that type of person. But if you're with your friends, that's good. But when you're into business, people are very strong sometimes here. Psychologically, they will analyze you and they will feel like, how much, how can I play with that person? And they want to see sometimes how you react. And sometimes people are afraid to reject someone because they feel they're going to take it the wrong way. For example,
Especially at the beginning as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that for a new client or recommend it and
yeah, but I think that, a lot of people, they try to do that. For example, they say, we have a lot of projects coming up and we want to be a partner with you. So, I mean, this project, give it to us very good discount because we don't see you as a supplier. We see you as a partner. And we will maybe have 20 projects for you. But now this project you have... No, because at the end of the day, you have to know your own value. I feel like, I'm very competitive in this market. I know that most of the other production companies are way more expensive and they don't deliver better quality because sometimes there's like a price that's on the market that they're used to and they blow up things. Like, for example, you will have like, I did that because I did market research and I tapped into what the competition is doing, and I'm not saying that I'm comparing myself to them, but I know what they're doing. And a lot of people, they'd be like, if you need to film one scene in one room with 2 people, they'll come up with 3 trucks and act like it's a Hollywood production. They bring out 20 lights and this and that, and they will not use, 60-70% of the equipment, but they can write it on the list and they can charge and this and that. So I know that working with me is going to be a benefit for them. First of all, I make them understand that if you work with me, you're already winning. It's not, I'm lucky because you gave me a project. No, you're lucky as well that I'm doing this project for you because other people can't do that for you. So already, it's a win-win. No one is here and the other one is there, or the other way around. So it's a win-win. These are my terms. They're better than the terms of anyone else. You can compare. I don't have a problem with that. You can get in different quotes. You can look at what they do. You can see if they understand your project. And if you decide that they're better, and these are the people you want to work with in the long run, we're not made to work together. Because at the end of the day, it's very difficult sometimes because you feel that, I need to get more business and I don't want to lose that client. But I feel that sometimes there are certain clients you don't want to have them. Because it's a risk. And once they disrespect you, or once they you feel that they go in that direction and they want to break your price or break you in your company and your values, and you accept it, there's no way you're going to go up from that. There's no way. So if they don't accept it the first time and you keep going, basically you gave them the carte blanche to just do whatever they want in the future. And that's why also in the beginning there was like a project that I did for free, and I felt, you know what, if I do it cheap, I'm never going to be able to ask for the real price. But if I do it for free, obviously, obviously it was, I did it for free, but this is what it actually costs. So now the second one, that's what it costs. You cannot, increase the price by double or 3 times and say, yeah, no, but how did you do it the first time then? How did you do that? Oh, that was free, So I think that these are things that you need to try out. It's a theory. It doesn't work with everyone. And that's, again, intuition. You feel sometimes with that person I can do that. That person I don't want to work with. No matter how big the company is. It could be, you got to be able to lose to be able to win sometimes. Just in the moment it's hard.
And we have time for one more question. Anyone?
Just it's this topic about the pricing, how you calculate the pricing. Because what I noticed in this region, yesterday I was reading like a conversation I had yesterday with a friend that she's working for a big company. She's like, how much will it cost me, like a 3-minute video and motion graphics? And I'm like, it depends on how you do this,
Of course, when someone asks you that, you ask them, what's the price of a car? You don't know. Do you want a Lamborghini or do you want a Toyota? It's first of all.
But I don't know if you notice, in the region they are all poor when it comes to.
No,
they're all really poor. Big cars, but poor.
No, but the thing is that it's a trick question. A lot of people, they're trying to. I feel that this is also one of the points of sale. I will show references. I'll tell them, I give them options. I say, this is a video I did for that client. That was the budget. The reason why the budget is like that is because of this. Sometimes as well it has to do with timing. If you have 2 weeks and we can go to like the normal way, okay. If you tell me I need something in 3 days that normally takes 2 weeks, of course it's going to be more expensive. So I'm going to tell them that was the price because it was Rush. Normally that would cost that much. Then there is this option. You choose, you know. If you go somewhere, I'm not trying to bargain the Lamborghini down. The guy's going to say, I have a very good car for you right here. So you don't tell them you can't have it. You tell them this is the better one for you. And sometimes you tell them I cannot, you know, offer that to you. When you're asking, it's like, okay, you know, exactly, I don't have it. So this is something where I feel that I don't compare myself to the competition. I feel that some people, they do that. They're trying to, you know, analyze, or if they're like this, I'm going to be a little bit cheaper or a little bit, you know, and I'm going to offer something similar. I know what's out there, but I don't compare myself to them because it's not, you know, like I'm completely different. And I feel that my strongest point is, at the end of the day, if you can really solve the person's problem and they feel that they can trust you, that you really understand them, because that's something that I realized a lot of people here, they just want to sell. It doesn't matter if, you know, you need it or not. You know, they just want to sell something to you. I turned some projects down because I told them, you don't need a video right now. I tried to understand what they're doing. I was like, honestly, I think that right now you should focus more on this, and once you figure it out, then you can start with a video. Right now, I can sell it to you, I can do it for you, but you don't need it right now, you know? Or, yeah, you have to be honest, because they will come back, or they want to talk about you. They're going to say, like, you know what, this guy is really cool. He's not trying to sell you something, he's just...
I mean, for example, in Europe, you have like guidelines. You have kind of authorities, or you know, they put together this kind of association. So you have guidelines for prices. What I noticed in Dubai, for example.
But what do you mean now? Salaries or what?
No. I don't know. In advertising, there is for sure. I mean, in Italy, you have like seriously, like the book. It costs like crazy, but you have like for every just to understand when you are in the market, you know. But I think since in Dubai, I don't know what is my problem. Even when I freelance, it's always like, you know, where do I position myself? It's always like about, you know, positioning, because sometimes, you know, it's seriously difficult. I mean, you don't have like taxes. You cannot say like, oh, I have like 70% taxes.
No,
like,
of course. It comes down to how you market yourself. You know, if you market yourself as a specialist, you know, for example, the more specialized you are, the more you can ask. If you say, for example, I'm a graphic designer, or I'm a filmmaker, you know, I do videos, you know, corporate videos. Now, if you say, I do corporate videos for hospitals and medicine, and I'm very like specialized, I know how to film, you know, every like operation and this and that, they'll be like, oh, now everyone that's in that field is going to pay you way more, because like someone that films horses, how is he going to film my hospital, you know? They cannot really translate to that. So the more specialized you are, now you can say, but you limit yourself to only these people. That's something how, or if you become a brand, if you're known and you just position yourself that people know he's the best. He costs 10 times more, but he's the best. And I think that, you know, of course you have kind of regulations in other countries, but a lot of the companies that work here, they're also compared to the international standard, because they used to work, people are here 2 years ago, they were in Italy or they were in Germany, and they know how much they you know, like they paid for a TV commercial. So people here cannot exaggerate and ask 5 times. It's not possible. But within the community, if you compare, because people will also compare. They will try to go online, they're going to find 5 companies, and they're going to ask them, give me a quote. And then they're going to compare. So now you're going to be in there. So if they just compare on price basis, it's very hard for them. But once they sit down with each individual and they have a talk, and you can really do your sales pitch and present to them what you do, how you do it differently, then you have a chance to position yourself. That's why I don't compare in terms of prices, but more on how I position my product.
So on that, this is the conclusion of the event for Startup Grind. I guess the next thing to notice is on meetup.com we'll host the next event announcement, the next speaker. We'll put up the recording of this event so that way you can share it with your friends or get any feedback points from it. We always welcome feedback and opinions, and even if there's a speaker that you want to come to Startup Grind that you want to speak to, let us know.
I want him, he knows a lot.
So feel free to do that, and again, thank you everyone for coming. And just network and connect and mingle. Thanks again, everyone. Thank you, Ben, for coming.